Hey there gamers, DreamcastGuy here. Today we're talking about that state of play that just finished because that was the best state of play of all time. We saw a new Silent Hill, we saw a remake of God of War, we saw new stuff, just first party, third party, crazy stuff. But I feel like part of the reason this was such an interesting showcase is because it wasn't a showcase. Historically, anytime they were doing a state of play, that was typically the bite-sized presentations, usually focused on one game. Here's Ghost of Tsushima, here's the next thing we're sort of excited about this summer. Whereas showcases, this seemed like a showcase. This seemed like typically when Sony comes out and says, here's all the crazy reveals and release dates and I just finished watching it. Let's talk about the games I love the most because this was perfect. It had a big surprise at the end. It had just wall-to-wall, all great stuff. Other than some like anime games I don't care about. But let's discuss. Hi, hope you're having a great day. If you could please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, there's also a Silent Hill transmission. There's actually a Silent Hill stream coming up here in literally 30 minutes. But I want to discuss this because going into the state of play, a lot of people are kind of rumbling that this one had to be the big one. I mean, think about the fact that PlayStation has been very oddly silent in a way. You know, doesn't it feel like it? Whereas Sony is getting the highest sales. The PlayStation 5 continues to burn up store shelves. But when's the last time Sony came out and said, we're doing a thing and it got you excited, right? It feels like they have so few first-party exclusives. This finally felt like that one that said, here's what we've actually been up to. Starting with, of course, the God of War Remake Trilogy. Now, they admitted this is in early development. They're bringing back the original voice cast. They're being very vague about it. There have been some leaks about this project that it sounds like they didn't realize how much people wanted the original God of War to come back. The new God of War games just sell so much. It seems like Sony and Sony Santa Monica didn't really kind of understand the importance of old school Kratos fans. So not only did we get one game, we got two games. They're shadow dropping a side-scrolling weird 2.5D-ish pixel art God of War game, where it seems like you're playing either Kratos as a kid or the children of Sparta. God of War Sons of Sparta, coming from Megacat Studios, announced and coming out today. If you let me know, if this video gets 1,000 likes, I'll stay up all night and review this. But let me keep going here. So, I'm a big fan of Housemark. Housemark obviously did the incredibly good Returnal. This is their next big project. It's going up here in April 30th, but this new look, something I feel like felt extra good about it. I really like roguelikes. This seems to have more story than, well, Returnal had, right? It does feel like a lot of times with roguelikes, they're sort of loosey-goosey. There's some like notes you read or some audio diaries. This seems to have an actual dedicated plot, probably like an actual ending and stuff. And I am super excited to be honestly playing this. Man, this game I think is going to be a much bigger deal once we actually get a chance to play it. Now, I can't believe there's so many PlayStation first-party games in a row. They did another big reveal for Tokon Fighting Souls. This is actually going to have 20 different characters. They revealed a bunch of new stuff about the X-Men. Heck yes, obviously I've been playing those betas. There's a beta coming up for Marathon. Now, I have been very much on the Marathon hate wagon. I still just think this game doesn't quite look super good. Something about the art style, the impact, doesn't fully connect with me, but I want to play it with an open mind. Honestly, I've been wanting to get addicted to an extraction shooter. I really like shooters, and honestly, I love Bungie gunplay more than anything else. This being a server slam right before the launch, extremely smart. Marathon comes out March 5th, and you're going to basically have this beta right before it. I will be playing this beta. I will be making a video, because this, honestly, I hope it's good. I don't know, something about a permadeath shooter, I'm not great at that. You know, I don't like the idea of losing progress, but a good game will make me a believer. This one, holy heck, there were like 20 reveals in this that legitimately had me just being like, you can't do this. A John Wick video game. How many times have people specifically asked for this? This is one of those dream projects, right? And it's official. It's licensed. It's not like it's just an homage. It's Keanu Reeves running a gun and going crazy. I am so excited about this. Obviously, I like Saber a lot. This is super crazy to me. Man. Oh, Metal Gear Solid Collection 2. Obviously, Collection 1 had 1, 2, and 3. My favorite Metal Gear Solid game of all time by a trillion miles is Peace Walker. This is Peace Walker remastered. Along with this, they also announced that the remaster part 1, the collection part 1, is getting another graphics patch update actually today. I don't know, man. This to me is so rad. It's cool that Konami finally realizes, all right, let's make new stuff. Let's make, new Metal Gear Solids. Let's make new Silent Hills and stuff. But at the same time, we could do old school stuff that's extra, extra awesome. Man, look at this. This has 6,000 likes literally in like 20 minutes. Gosh. Oh yeah, a new Castlevania is coming out. Now, there have been leaks about the fact that Konami is sort of in this licensing mood, where if somebody approaches them with a good enough pitch and they trust the project, they let them make him. This is by, what's their name? Emotion? Evil Twin? I think it's Evil Twin. These people have done a bunch of really good roguelikes. This doesn't seem to be a roguelike, though, thankfully. I'm glad this looks like old school tactical Castlevania, right? Smashing torches, getting weapons, using magic. The idea of a classic Belmont Castlevania, this is super, super, super cool to me, right? Man, here's one I got to admit. I love Silent Hill. I love Silent Hill. And you guys do not understand what it was like being a fan. We had not had a new Silent Hill game in over a decade. There was a decade gap between Downpour and Silent Hill 2 Remake. Silent Hill 2 Remake was fantastic. Silent Hill F was fantastic. And now we're getting Townfall this year. We're getting 3 Silent Hill games in 2 years. You guys cannot imagine how crazy, crazy, crazy this is. Now, this is being done by Anna Peruna, I think. Some of the team behind this is definitely lower budget looking. It looks like it's not going to be super combat heavy. It's definitely going to lean more into like the creepy ambiance storytelling side of the scares. But as a Silent Hill fan, man, I am so curious about this, right? Man, this reveal had a line at the very start of it. I woke up in the water again. I don't know what to do. He's like in this town that's completely empty. And it started with like the sign covered up and you think it's going to the sign's going to blow off and say Silent Hill, Saint Amelia. Man, something about this, I feel like there's going to be a big extra added piece to it that makes it extra Silent Hill, right? Oh man. Star Wars Galactic Racer out 2026. So there were a lot of trailers. 95% of these said they're coming out 2026. We love that. I hate presentations where they're talking about stuff 10 years in the future, but there were a couple release dates that are 2027, and I have to admit that, man, that kind of made me feel old. Just because it is a bit funny to think about the fact that I've lived to the 2020s, that we're getting so close to the 2030s for the PlayStation 6. Oh, time has flown. You know what? I'm not really a Star Wars fan. This looked pretty good, right? All right. Something like this. Desert speeders, building your own thing. That's pretty cool to me, right? I don't know. I feel like I like Star Wars the most when it doesn't have a bunch of family-related Jedi chopping each other's hands off, right? All right. Control. Control is absolutely fantastic. We now have Alan Wake 1 and Alan Wake 2. It sounds like we're getting Control 2, which is this, Resonant, and then they're probably going to do like an Alan Wake 3. They showed a ton of gameplay for this. That was insane. He can practically fly. He can fly around. It's melee combat. You can say whatever you want about Remedy, whether you like their games or hate their games, but it's crazy that every single time they completely reinvent it, right? Here's a thriller. Here's a survival horror. Here's an action game, right? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited about that, right? There is a new Dead or Alive in development. There is so much in this presentation that just had me legitimately going, I can't believe that Sony got this. I almost feel like this is a sign of just how much the PS5 is sold, is that they're at a point where everybody, if you're going to do a grand reveal, you reveal it on PlayStation. These games are probably coming to PC and Nintendo Switch 2 and possibly the Xbox, but it is funny to me that we are at a point where if you're going to reveal something that's going to sell on consoles, you reveal it at PlayStation. Man, Ryu Hayabusa, oh my god. So here was one of the games I didn't like. There were a couple anime games here that I just did not care about at all. A couple indies here and there I did not care about at all. I would still give this like an A+, because man, it's good. This was one I'm still a little bit hesitant about. Roguelikes are something I like, but a roguelike shooter with 4 players trying to constantly reverse time and vote on timelines to get extra power-ups, something about this looks too full for me. And this was one of the first games they showed off today. And I was kind of like, Pragmata, got another look at that. Okay. Now, we are officially 15 days from the release of Resident Evil Requiem, and they've been getting bigger and bigger about the reveals of this game, talking more and more about how weird the story's going to be, honestly, how old Leon is. It's interesting how, Leon being this age is very interesting to me, but I'm surprised they didn't shadow drop a demo. They said they weren't going to release a demo, but I always thought they'd kind of go back on it. The last 10 Resident Evils have had a demo, so the fact that this is the first Resident Evil with no demo, I got to admit, kind of shocking. I have to think that's just because there's two different styles of gameplay. Grace, very old school survival horror Resident Evil. Leon, very action Resident Evil. I have a feeling that they don't want to release a demo of one mode or the other because the game is both. They don't want to say, hey, don't have an action-y demo and then you play the game and it's slow and spooky, or vice versa, right? This game, I cannot wait to review it, man. Oh man, I'm excited out of my brains. Ghost of Yotei Legends coming March 10th, free DLC. Heck yes. I played a lot of the Legends multiplayer DLC for the first game. Even more of that, yes please. The opening game was a new Kenna Bridge of Spirits. Honestly, looks great. I think everything in here was fantastic. It had big surprises, it had great reveals, it had actual gameplay, it had release dates. Yes, 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 yes. Absolutely. Sony, where the hell have you been? Welcome back. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you could please, tell me in the comments down below which games did you enjoy the most and which ones do you think kind of suck. Tell me, and do me a big favor, like this video and subscribe if you haven't already, and please keep dreaming. Look at this, I busted out the old PlayStation cert to truly celebrate the moment, and I'm glad I did. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.